Huh. Turns out it's true. Watching grass grow is boring. I mean, I've always heard that expression. Like when I was younger and somebody turned on the golf on the television, I was like, "Are you kidding? That's as boring as watching grass grow." I think that was probably right at the time, but I think the reason that I was mostly bored watching grass is because there's no purpose in it. Like watching grass grow, it's not going to grow fast enough. It's just grass. So golf was the same way for me, and the main reason is because I didn't really understand the purpose for it. So later on in my life, whenever I had an elder ask me if I'd ever been golfing, and I said, "No, I don't golf." And he said, "You do now." And he took me out on the golf course, and he actually got me some clubs and showed me what it looked like and how to do it, and what those things, what those skills were that were necessary to make it happen. All of a sudden it started making sense. And you know what happened? After I was golfing for a while, one day I was slipping stations and one of the tournaments came on, and by golly, it wasn't boring anymore. It wasn't like watching grass grow because there was purpose to it. I understood exactly what was going on. So it got me thinking. Sometimes people just can't go to church because they're like, it's just too boring. I don't understand. What's the big deal? I can be bored at home. I can go out in my yard and watch grass grow if I want to get bored. So why go to church? But maybe that's because you didn't completely understand the purpose of it. I mean, Paul is talking in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 about the church. We often go there to talk about spiritual gifts, but honestly, he's really just talking about the church. He's trying to help us to understand why it's important for all of us to be there. What's the purpose of it? And he compares us to a body. He says we are the body of Christ. And that's an amazing thing to me, to think of myself as part of the body of Christ. But he says, for just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with Christ. For in one Spirit we were all baptized into one body. Jews or Greeks, slaves or free, men or women, black, white, green, orange, purple, it doesn't matter who you are. If you believe in God, then you have been adopted into his family. If you're a part of his family, you're a part of his body, and his body is the church. And all were made to drink of one Spirit. For the body does not consist of one member, but of many. And then he goes on, he just says, look, if the foot says, we don't need the hand, that doesn't make it true. Anyone who is handless would tell you. If the hand were to say, I don't need a nose, and just ask anyone who's lost their nose. I imagine they're out there somewhere. Probably hard to smell without having a nose. And there are just so many different parts of the body that have so many different functions. And if the body is missing some of it, we many times will call that a disability. So maybe when you're talking about going to church and you're worried about it being boring, maybe it's because you don't understand the purpose. The purpose isn't for us to have a good time. The purpose is for us to worship God with people who believe the same way that we do and are able to understand who he is, but also so that we can come together and be spurred on to good deeds. We can come together and share our own gifts and talents with each other. We can pool our resources and do more for the community than we could by ourselves. There's so many things that we can do as a community that we would have a hard time doing as individuals. And all of a sudden, church doesn't become an hour-long time when I'm bored to death. Instead, it becomes an opportunity that I have to reconnect with people who can help me change the world. So I just want you to consider this. It may be that you've had a very good reason for not going to church, and that main reason has been you're just too bored. It's been like watching grass grow. Well, maybe that's because you didn't understand the purpose. And maybe when you go next time, before the service even starts, before you even get out of the car in the parking lot, you can just pray and say, God, show me why I'm here. And I believe every single one of you who do that will be answered by God by the time you leave the building. And it will have nothing to do with whether you were entertained. My name is Pastor Michael, and I'm with the JAR, and I'm excited that we are providing that opportunity Sundays at 4. We're going to be at the HFV Wilson Community Center this month. Next month, we're moving into our new building at 702 H Street Northeast. But you don't have to come to us. The body of Christ is not located on H Street or in the HFV Wilson Center. The body is not located at First Baptist Church or H2O or Equip Life. The body is not located at Tabernacle of Praise or Corinth or Mount Zion. The body of Christ is wherever two or more gather in his name. And the purpose of it, well, more than watching grass grow. Hope to see you soon.